A very warm welcome back to you and welcome to ESL One Katowice day number 4, and the final series is upon us. You're thinking, well, hold on a minute, what's going on here? You've got one team to thank for that. Evil Geniuses come through a 2-0 stomp of Newbie, the ESL One Genting champions from just 3 weeks ago, in under 38 minutes. That's the entire series. In fact, we were doing the drafts for longer than the games took. Unbelievable performance by EG, and they will make their way through to the quarterfinals. You will see them inside the Spodek Arena tomorrow, taking on Virtus Pro. Right now, we're going to focus on the first quarterfinal. That's right, it's time for Liquid versus Secret. We've had a little change on the desk. We welcome Cat back to the desk alongside Folden that has Cat. It feels like you've got it's good you're being not paid on an hourly rate, frankly, after that series.
They actually told me I have to get all the predictions right on this panel to get my full day pay.
That makes sense. That's fair, right? That's reasonably fair.
I don't think that's fair at all. I definitely am not going to do this.
Casters Union will take that up with you. Oh wait.
Incredible performance by EG. Let's get into this, folks, right away. Let's get into this Liquid Secret game. Start with Liquid. I can't even believe we're at this stage and we get this matchup. We've been waiting for it for a little while. We had it at Dream League 3 months ago, and then ever since they've kind of dodged each other through the, they've had like stand-ins, or they've gone the other side of the bracket, or they've been in different groups, and you kind of go, well, at some point we're going to get this match. Didn't expect it to happen in the quarterfinals of the major, though.
I'm sad.
Yeah, it is a little bit sad. I'm really thrilled we've got the match, but I'm sad that it's at the quarters.
I'm pretty sad because I'm also, I really always look forward to watching Secret play, but at them having to play versus Liquid right now, Liquid looks to be on another level. And Secret, sure, they looked pretty hot, but they are making some mistakes, some of those crucial mistakes where Liquid, they take advantage of those so heavily. So I'm at a bit of a concern for Secret.
I feel the same way because I think Secret's drafting is so fun. Like, I feel like we see very unique pickups by them, and a lot of it comes from Ace's hero pool. Like, picking Wraith King. Who's picking Wraith King? Honestly, that hero isn't it terrible?
Skywrath Mage, same thing.
Yeah.
They've been, well,
I feel
the only
about
team picking Skywrath.
Yeah, they're the only team picking Skywrath, but I know that, especially for a couple months now, Yapstor's been talking about the hero because he does a different build. Because we used to see 4-1-1, he's doing 1-4-1, blah, blah, blah. Yeah,
and I'm seeing Skywrath in pubs. I'm not seeing any Wraith King. Yeah.
Okay.
Like,
interesting. Alan, focusing on Liquid for the moment. We talk about Kuro's drafting. He's obviously up against the old master, his former teammate as well. The head-to-head is very close, as you pointed out.
26 and 24.
Yeah, so he needs a couple of big wins here to tie things up.
He does, because Secret have had the best of the matchup, the best of it recently. Liquid have not won a series against Secret since, I believe they won one best-of-1, but they haven't won a best-of-3 going back all the way to before Hamburg last season. So Secret, in terms of the level of their current play, look like top dogs. Now, did Fnatic change that last night? I'm not sure. I still think this matchup is very slightly Secret favored based on what we've seen. I like to look at a longer horizon.
Yeah, I mean, we'll switch over to Secret. Their record since TI against each other, 8-6 in favor of Secret in games, but 5-1 in the last 6 is the key one, which, talk about it. I mean, talk about how they dismantled Liquid 3 months ago in that Dream League final.
They literally just read them like a book. That was the one thing, but I do think that just looking at this right flat out, looking at drafts, just singling that one out, Liquid has more standard, normal kind of drafts. Secret, they're definitely a bit out of the box. They're picking Storm first too. Sure, they won that game pretty handedly, but it is definitely out of the norm.
Let's sort of back off a little bit about this whole read them like a book, because the first 2 games, it was 3-0 for Secret, but the first 2 games of that series were both over an hour and were both really contested. So I mean, I don't think that this matchup is in any way lopsided, but yeah, arguably these 2 drafters know each other as well or better than anybody in the professional game in terms of how that they think. That's why to me the drafts really are one of the more exciting part of these series.
Kat, let's talk mentality. How much of a hangover from last night is in the minds of these boys this morning? Because it's not something you easily forget, that, is it?
Which team?
Secret.
Secret?
Yeah.
After getting whomped?
Yeah. Well, the way that they lost that final game.
Yeah, I think they're okay with it. I mean, obviously they're going to be upset and everything, but I think they're just going to continue to push forward. They're going to go over those replays and just learn a little bit. I think they're probably more focused than anything because points and everything else aside, this is going to be another proving point for Secret that they are. We touted them as the best team in the world, at least. I feel like they were a bit better than Liquid going into this. But, you know, this matchup can say everything. And because of the history, right, Secret did get the edge on Liquid repeatedly, but now that we do have that history for Liquid to be able to go back on, like some of those out-of-the-box picks that are coming out from Secret, well, they're going to know about them.
One more thing, Alan, just before we get into the draft. One of the things we haven't discussed is the points that are at stake right now. This, I mean, won't impact the two because they're at the top 2 in the DPC, but actually one of them has an opportunity of dumpstering the other one out without getting any points and then going on to get maximum points. That could make a crucial difference in seeding later down the line.
Well, honestly, apart from just the rivalry aspect, yeah, that's significant because, again, mathematically, there are quite a bit more points needed to guarantee yourselves. But in all the reasonable simulations and scenarios that we've run, Secret is right around the point where you're guaranteed to qualify reasonably, okay? And Liquid is obviously approaching that point very, very rapidly. So these two teams, there is a lot to play for in terms of points. I just think, going back to Cap's point about last night, okay? I think when you look at Puppy over the last couple of years, I think he's brought along young players, you know, starting with Weeha, maybe even you talk about Envy there. He's brought along some of these younger players inland so well, and that's part of it. Handling how you bounce back from the loss.
Yep, true. 6,062 points is the margin right now of mathematically being able to go through. There is only one team here that can reach that at this event if they win it, and that is Secret. But Liquid have 3,510, which means if they get 2,250, 5,700 is pretty good. And I don't think that's going to stop them getting to TI.
Realistically, the threashhold is probably around 3K. Yes. So realistically, these two teams probably in already.
Yep. All right, let's get into our first draft.
What do you guys think is... Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Real quickly, Fog, did you think going into this that Secret looked better than Liquid? Into this tournament, let's say.
It's hard, isn't it? Because Genting had the stand-in.
Yeah.
They had the issues, so you can't really measure them from that.
Let's say going into Genting.
Going into Genting, yes.
Yeah.
I did think so.
Okay, but now, do you think Liquid looks better than Secret? Because I do.
Yeah. I do think so.
From what they've shown, surely, right?
I think they just look so strong. They look so confident. Is the
Even though they've had that one loss, drop down.
It's always the question when you're evaluating these teams, like, what's your horizon, right? Because I think we have a tendency to maybe overweight these recent series especially when the fields have become so close at these events. I tend to take a longer view, but I agree with you guys. I've liked Liquid's recent form just a little bit more.
Yeah, I agree. So who do you think is actually, for me, the most important thing for Secret is making sure Fada can have a good game. That's what I've been seeing, at least for them. When he starts to struggle, I feel like that whole team doesn't have anything to back up on. Sure, Puppy and Yapsor, they make moves around the map, but when I see Fada, like when he was playing that Tidehunter, when he doesn't have a big impact on the game, they struggle super hard. And I think Liquid, they're going to be able to recognize that too.
I think that point is particularly well taken, particularly in light of what we saw last night, where the big game for Secret was that 5th pick of Baden, where he had such a synergy and such an impact together with that Ursa. So yeah, I think that's a reasonable point.
And be able to get Ace the edge when it comes to the draft as well, and whatever hero he has, it needs to be a stronger, because of that fact that Liquid is so good frequently at being able to shore up their lanes quite a bit. Like, if they get those kind of like very self-sustained solo type heroes and allow their 2 supports to be able to roam around, you want to make sure that Ace is such an impactful hero that it in turn creates problems for Liquid. They need to make sure that Liquid aren't just happy with the 1v1 against Ace. So I would say that's the other point. Those are like the 2 cores that you have to think about.
I was wondering if this hero is going to actually get banned out, because I know both of them favorite really highly, and it's the Elder Titan.
Yeah.
Because we've now been seeing the rise of it even more so. People are talking about, there's some counters to it, in particular that Lifestealer, which hurts him a lot, but overall, in the grand scheme of the game, that hero just has such an absurd impact.
But now, so for so many of the drafts, right, it's insta-click Razor, and Liquid has gone with that in the first phase, first overall several times. By the way, Flogged, I'm very sorry.
Okay.
I actually think you're so it's the Razor. I think Fog is right, because looking over the hero selection, if you look at Fata, 13 games on Tide, 9-4, over 5 games on no other hero. They're really looking for a steady alternative for him to the Tide.
What I was going to bring up was, do you think this is one of those games, Fogged, where because they know each other so well, Kuro and Puppy, there is that element of, mind games, but then double mind games, where they actually mind game themselves by talking themselves out. Oh, he thinks we'll pick the Razor, so let's not pick the Razor, which is actually what Puppy wanted them to do.
There's going to be
an element of that in there.
I mean, there's going to be ridiculous mind games, right? We look and look, Naga's in the pool.
Naga Disruptor is both in the pool.
They just take the Razor, so you know that because they might be thinking, oh, if we pick Razor, they might also just do what we do, pick Terrorblade. So yeah, we're definitely going to see massive amounts of mind games coming up between this. just from the start too. These bans, we see
absolutely.
Rubik Sanking Bane first 3 banned by Liquid. They're like, all right, let's leave the board open. Let's change the way this game
What?
goes." And there you go, mind games.
Tusk Undying. Okay, all right. Well, not completely outside of what Secret
They
have
picked
played.
Undying.
They
Yeah,
have-
I mean,
they have
Tusk
played-
is fine.
Undying
it's
is
just the Undying.
inside of Puppy's most played top 10, but it's on the very edge of it.
And they played it here, right? I think I saw them play earlier in this tournament. Or am I wrong?
this
Honestly,
tournament?
don't know. And Yaps
I
I
don't
feel
think
like I
has
so.
played
saw.
Tusk, of
Maybe I
course.
just saw an Undying and it wasn't them.
So yeah, I mean, he's 1-1 on the Heroes Puppy since January 1st. I think it's the first Undying pick that we've seen.
Was it? Okay.
Yeah.
I thought
They
I'd
picked
seen
it. They picked it. Liquid picked
I
it in the
don't
last
think-
game at Dream League.
Yeah, and I don't
Oh,
think it's
okay.
been picked
So-
here at all.
Alright.
No, it hasn't. It is
Okay.
a first pick right now. And it
If
hasn't
you
banned
dispose
either.
of the other Titan, I
Interesting.
think Undying is probably the support that wins you, like, is the stabilized laner that is the strongest when it comes to, like, that harassment focus.
This is one of the known heroes that is just the dominator of Undying.
This is like 10D chess, man.
Yeah.
And then they're
We
going to
got Razor
go
PL first,
into
too.
4-5 with Terrorblade banned, right?
Yeah, Liquid, they're going to take out TB.
I think Red are going to lose their mind. This is 200 IQ drafting.
Yeah, this is. We knew this was going to happen, right?
Yep, we did.
We
He
did.
banned Gyro as well.
5 seconds remaining.
For who? Liquid?
On Liquid.
I think they.
Because if you look at
Yes.
Secret's lineup, right, where they have Undying Tusk,
Do you know,
have
I
a Gyro
don't
on top of
envy
that.
either of any of you guys. I really don't.
Hmm.
During these drafts. This
What are you talking about? This is amazing.
No, but it must be really tough for you to kind of pick what's going to happen because
No,
I don't even think they know what's going to happen.
Picking heroes is impressive, but it's kind of a parlor trick. Like this, to me, this is an opportunity to sort of get inside the minds of 2 of the best captains in the world and understand why they're doing what their teams are trying to achieve.
Good luck with
Like
that.
that's amazing to me.
Good luck
DK
with
as
that.
well.
Dude, I don't think that they banned the Gyro. I think the Gyro they're okay with
Okay.
Phantom Lancer because PL it's that matchup that you can deal with. If you get ahead on PL, Gyro just becomes pretty much a non-factor.
Yeah,
With
for me,
TB, though,
it's the
definitely.
fact that you have really good enablers with the Gyrocopter and this Undying Tusk. But I think maybe DK is also another problem.
Do you like Viper for Secret?
I wouldn't
I-
really think that they would pick it. I think Undying and Viper, it's such an immobile draft versus Phantom Lancer. I think you can just get split up too
Yeah.
hard around the map.
Okay.
Sure, laning phase you might be able to dominate, but mid game, like those heroes don't move. Those
Yeah,
heroes
you want
are all
to
about
speak
grouping.
of parlor tricks. I think that like the whole Nether Toxin W against the Phantom Lancer, I don't think it's like it's not a hard counter.
It's not a
It's
hard
like a
counter,
small
but
trick counter.
all right, fair enough.
You could play
Fair
around it as the PL a lot.
10 seconds remaining.
AA gets taken out.
5 seconds remaining.
Razor also limits one of the other pretty key heroes for Ace, which is the Lone Druid. And I'm not sure how you feel about Broodmother in these situations either.
Well, the 2 other heroes that have been Ace's go-tos behind the ones that you mentioned are the Luna and the Lifestealer. And I think
Don't want to play Lifestealer by any means.
Luna, I
versus
think,
this
is
draft.
right. Luna's good, and another one that they've sort of been pulling out at the tail end of drafts. They've been 5th picking Troll Warlord,
Yeah.
which I quite like.
I think they had that matchup against a Lifestealer.
Mhm.
And then that Luna game, they left a Terrorblade out in the game. But here, Liquid are unlikely to pick it as their 3rd core. So that is possible. You do have problems with Razor, though. Like, that's actually a traditional kind of where you just, like, latch onto a Luna with BKB.
Interested to see what the GH hero here will be as well.
I mean, yeah, they opened up with 2 cores. Like we said, we don't see that too often. And
Okay. This is a hero they obviously believe in for
Yeah.
mid one. I mean, we're seeing it first phase.
first phase they did it. Now they did it
Yeah.
on opening 3rd pick.
Look at it. It's the kind of the corollary to the concern that you guys were expressing about mobility. When
Yeah.
it's Secret, they know they want to be able to split the map here.
Oh, they banned Earthshaker.
Yeah, they banned the ES.
Yes.
Secret
I
ban.
was like, that could have been a secret hero. Huh. I guess they can't run it as a support, so.
I don't know. Are we gonna see Whisper Spirit here for GH?
Our Spirit looks solid. Doesn't match up in the so good versus Undying or Tusk, but he can obviously punish Storm.
Oh, Rubik's still in the pool as well.
Mm-hmm.
Wisp still there as well.
Yeah.
I don't like Wisp or Spirit so much because of those supports.
I think Earth Spirit's playable. but yeah, Wisp is risky. I just like the Rubik because I like the Rubik here because either Kuro or GH can play it.
Like Rubik or Disruptor.
Yeah. Disruptor, I think you run into. I think you run into a little bit of potential trouble with the lanes.
Are they gonna go
'Cause
Naga?
Undying could just run at you.
I think it's more about the grand scheme of the game, not just the lanes, because they've already got Razor, so they're like, okay, one lane's ours for the most part. And versus Undying and Tusky right now, these are the two supports. So double melees, and Storm, they've got a lot of close range heroes. Disruptor can abuse that pretty hard.
If they go the Naga Disruptor, like it's a huge counter to Storm in a lot of ways, and I feel like Naga is one of the heroes that can kind of contest the Undying when it comes to owning the lanes.
Underlord, certainly.
So what about the
Underlord
Chen
into
for
a Razor
Liquid now?
as well,
Underlord into the Razor, and
because they could do PL like in a different lane and just
Yeah.
Razor in the 1v1.
they've got, this is like a very, I don't know how else to really describe it. It's like all kind of melee in a way versus Disruptor, who thrives when everybody groups up. You get much better chances of getting your Static Storm off in all situations.
I do think the Naga pick makes a lot of sense. Taking a lot of time here. Down to 20 seconds of reserve time.
2 picks left as well.
Yeah,
That's hard because a lot of the traditional picks are just all taken out at the moment.
What about the Chen?
I think that
Oh.
Kuroki normally plays the Disruptor for Liquid.
He does.
So, and he's also the Chen player.
Yep.
So I wouldn't imagine they would go for that one.
And you don't quite have the setup.
There's
They go
okay.
the IO.
Right.
I
go for the
really
IO.
like that. Yeah, you turn around once you see the Underlord. I think the IO comes back on board because you want an answer to that ability of Team Secret to move around the map.
Is there still a Beastmaster available? There is a Beastmaster
Oh, yes.
available. I think they could go for IO Beastmaster for MC,
I think that would be amazing.
and then they can put the Razor versus the Underlord and the PL versus the Storm.
Do you think the Brood is still in play for Secret?
Beast and DK, actually.
Yeah, Beast and DK, those are the two that I
So-
was thinking.
That's the thing, is whenever you go into the last pick, you have to have an alternate choice, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think
the Brood could definitely be one of those options. Then they're pretty much all melee though.
I think the Brood and the Lundred are still even into the Razor. Like that's the thing. I know, but teams in this tournament, the top teams have been willing to pick that LD into the Razor.
Give me some Meepo.
That's what's causing me
Give
to
some
doubt myself.
Meepo.
Beast gets banned.
Dude, Meepo is
Give me some Meepo. Ace.
Meepo is a sick call.
Give me
actually.
some Meepo Ace. Then they're all melee and they're just ready to go. And they do take out the Beast. So I think that other one, like you said, the DK, looks like one of those big options. Unless they...
5 seconds
Huh.
remaining.
Thinking they still could...
Huh.
No, it's going to be Miracle playing the PL, so...
you're thinking like side lane Razor.
And there's the
and then
They banned them
there's the
PL,
Brood
and then
ban.
they
I
could
felt
do
that they had to do that.
like a safe lane OD or something.
So you guys like DK here?
I feel like that's the most normal pick.
10 seconds remaining.
Huh.
Out of all the other offlaners,
Oh man.
I mean, like we said, these guys are just...
Yeah.
This is going to be some interesting drafts coming.
Mind games upon mind games.
Yeah. So that would
Upon
be...
mind games.
That's going to be mind control.
Yeah, and this is the first time that Liquid have picked Enchantress this year.
so do you think the
Huh.
the Wisp and Enchantress's sustain, is that enough to make this like not a great Storm game? Because our choices all included like a decent amount of sustain, but like they also had
Yeah.
lockdown, right? Naga, Dragon Knight. They weren't heroes that were.
There's
your
your
Meepo!
Meepo!
Oh, I got
my
it, hell yeah.
God.
Good call.
Way to go,
That's
Fog.
sick.
Yeah, I think that's a
I
great
think they
pick
won
here
the
too.
draft with that.
Big time.
That's the one I was thinking.
GG. Like, no, I shouldn't say that because this is gonna
You
be an
shouldn't
amazing
say that.
game.
This
we
is gonna
do
be awesome.
we do get a Meepo. It is the
Oh.
91st different hero used and picked at this tournament as well. Has it made the difference in the drafting decisions, Fogged?
Let's go Meepo. I haven't seen it in a while. I know
Okay.
this hero can be abused
The
a bit, but
choices are Liquid or
I just-
Secret, but
I'm
you've got
excited.
Meepo. I
I'm
like
excited
it.
for
Okay.
Meepo.
It's
He's
a
got-
combination of AoE and it deals with split push from Wisp as well, really well. I like it.
Yeah.
Secret.
Okay.
I think that this is actually closer than it might seem. The Meepo pick is a very good one. I think the first round, though, of this chess match goes to Puppy and Secret.
All right. Okay, let's find out. We'll bring in our commentary team. Boys, it is time for the quarterfinals. Liquid versus Secret. And you've got yourselves a Meepo.
Yeah, I'm kind of happy about that. I'm also very sad about the series because I don't
Yeah.
want to see either of these teams go home.
No, quite.
But this is fantastic. We get Meepo, we have Mind Control Enchantress. We're mixing things up a little bit here, Blitz. So not your standard run-of-the-mill day Dota.
No, it's not. And I think the first series kind of set that up already, that today is not going to be an average day at
I
all.
blinked. I missed it.
That was weird. Man, that was... I still can't get over that first series. I know we're supposed to talk about the second one, but...
Do you want to give a quick wrap-up? Just at least clear, just cleanse your thoughts of it before we focus on this one.
I mean, I kept saying that Newbie is like the team that drops like random series to people, but there's like a different level to that, right? Because losing in like 17 minutes and getting crushed in like 2 games in a row like that,
Yeah.
you expect a lot out of Newbie. And it just shows like, the cool thing about that is it shows like how random Dota can be in terms of like, it'll depend on the matchup, who's playing who, what the drafts look like. So it's very hard to say like, oh, this team's garbage, this team's good, because you never know, right?
Yeah. There's so many things like hey, Meepo gets picked up, you think the pick is really, really good. The panel, I feel really sorry for you guys when you're up there every single time. This is the team that will win this one. You never know.
Yeah,
And
it's,
anything is going to be possible.
I mean, Fnatic, like, what do you think the odds were before that series? Like, realistically
But
speaking, right?
even the odds, like, about 1 minute before the end of that series.
Yeah.
like, it was all favoring Team Secret.
Yeah, that was one of the weirder series that I've been a part of. Like, this tournament in general has just been really odd. But who knows? I mean, I'm really excited for this one because this would have been my #1 and #2 team in the world. So what I like to do before every tournament is I like to just poll the players that I know and say, like, okay, who do you think is the best team? And it was actually pretty 50-50 split. Like, a lot of people said Secret, which would have been my choice.
Yeah.
But a lot of people also said Liquid. Like, those were almost always at the... Nobody said Newbie, nobody said VP. It was either...
I was waiting for the VG call in
Yeah.
there somewhere.
It was either Liquid or Secret. I mean, Vici, they're doing it in one tournament. They still have a lot of Dota to play. But these were, for most people, the consensus 1A, 1B. We'll find out the order right now. Liquid has had sort of a... It feels like a mental block versus Secret. Like, they've been struggling against them. They lost 3-0 in Dream League, although all 3 of those games were very good. And they ended up getting 2-1 at ESL Hamburg, right? At the last ESL Major. And so far, Secret feels slightly better in this matchup, but this is kind of where Liquid gets to correct it all.
We'll see if they can. We just get a feeling of our lanes now. So Miracle is running that PL in mid with GH roaming IO against mid 1 Storm Spirit. Not a hero we've seen be that successful, or at least be the real reason why a team has been successful. Yapsaw sitting behind them as always. This is just classic Yapsaw for this entire tournament. Just try and create some problems for that mid lane and secure mid 1 his time. Fada playing the hero that unraveled Team Secret yesterday against Matamaman's Razor. And then down the bottom, the Meepo. Team Liquid actually came down here to break a whole bunch of trees and put down that one dire Observer ward. Do you think there's actually like a set reason too where they want to clear out the trees? Is it watching the pulls? Is it watching Ace die under the tower? The Thunder Strike will be enough. Mind Control with his attack will reach it and get the kill.
Add the pause to reflect on your mistakes. So remember you asked me, by the way, you said they picked Undying. And,
Yeah.
I said instantly, I said it's because they anticipate Liquid to take
The IO.
Yeah.
Do you think that, like, how's that meant to like directly counter? Like you pick up the Undying, you're just like, okay, so this hero, why does it work so well against the IO?
It's like strength-based heroes, Undying just decays. You're almost always going to get a 2-man decay. Tomb is very nice. But that's why Liquid also take PL, because PL takes down the Tombstone so fast. So it's like a hero counters hero. And Liquid, I think Secret were trying to dissuade picks. That's kind of been like the story of the tournament when it comes to the draft is, if I take this hero, I want to make sure that you're not going to take what I think you're good at. Like, it's preempting it almost. But Liquid do it anyways.
Starts his TP out. GH was only coming down to pick up that 2-minute rune so he could bottle it up, but ends up actually forcing the Undying to TP all the way back to base, and as well as picking up the illusion rune.
And mid one makes me so sad.
Why? Why sad?
Because it's like, I really need Storm to see some buffs.
So you don't want mid one to have a successful game?
Yeah, he always wins with that hero. Like, nobody else seems to win with it, but he does.
But it seems to work. Like, he wins with a hero because Fada is a real player. I think Fogged was saying this thing yesterday, where he's just like, as long as Fada is actually a real player in a game, then Team Secret, especially mid one, always does well.
Yeah, I would agree with that. But at the same time, mid one is a beast on this hero. He's one of my favorite Storms. Feels like he's one of the few people that actually, I think the only person that I've seen win with this hero in quite some time, so.
It takes a lot to impress you for a Storm Spirit.
Look at this
blocking
body block.
Miracle! He uses the small illusion to actually stop him. The shards, it doesn't block! Miracle away! Almost the save from Yapsaw. Miracle just walks straight back down the mid lane. You shouldn't have praised him, Blitz. You shouldn't have praised him.
It was worth it for that. That was very cool. Miracle, presence of mind, uses one of his illusions just to step in front. It's the little things that separate players like that.
Oh, Puppey flips back on the bottom lane. Mind Control was already chipping away at him. There's the two-man, well, attempted decay. Actually didn't hit anybody with that, and still TP out to safety. He only just arrived back there. Gets blood in his uniform, has to go all the way home.
Ooh, I like that. He's still only level 1, by the way.
Yep.
Like, Puppey's had 0 impact in this game. The Meepo has been shoved out of this wave. Like, Meepo's a nice hero in this game, but it's hard to enable him because the Enchantress is so good at just setting up for these right-click fights. Normally when you play
and GH can work together. Ace, he's already poofed away with that Meepo to try and farm up the camps, and now Ace will fall to Kuro. Stopping the pulls, these support combinations just been so active for Team Liquid.
Yeah, that's a lot of gold too. That goes to just 2 supports. A lot of gold in XP. You slow down the Meepo's farm, who hasn't even shown up in lane. So far the game has been very difficult as mid one lays down a Remnant Trap, but Miracle gonna doppelganger away, and not the easiest start right now.
This is just some ballsy stuff from Puppey. He knows there's 3 heroes on the other side of this tree. He just hit level 2, he's holding the point. And finally someone from Team Secret's coming down here, and it'll be Fada. He's got some decent levels, so he can easily stand down here alone. But now the lane change up, what, is mid one gonna go against the Razor? And then Ace has the mid lane?
He's gonna jungle for his 6.
That's it?
Yeah, at this point, as Storm, you buy Clarities and you just jungle. The downside, though, is he already has Ace doing that. So right now, at 5 minutes into the game, you've got 2 cores that are actually just hitting jungle creeps. And if you think about that, oh, it's so sad because you don't want to be doing this.
Yep.
Nobody's even taking advantage of mid as a result. And
at least Yapsa's here to try and stop GH, but he's in range of Kuro for the tether, and Puppey knows it. Snowball actually grabbing in Ace. They'll need to get the shards out. No, he doesn't. But GH, where's the stun? There it is. Earthbind is there, but it does not cancel the TP. So GH, all the way back home, may reveal the fact that Liquid have that aggressive ward watching Ace's farm pattern.
Yes. I think they would have realized that after the second attempt on his life, but so far so good for Team Liquid. This is a very blistering pace. When Team Liquid has a good laning phase like this, it's rare to see them give up this kind of lead, and Secret in a position where they're not feeling very comfortable whatsoever. Normally, it's Ace's game or mid one's game that is enabled Toby, but in this one, it doesn't feel like either of them are really getting any real estate on the map.
Yeah, mid one's just battling directly with Miracle. He's a little bit of experience behind, but that's more of an even trade. Fada had bounced down to the bottom lane to try and take the farm down here, but Ace has still managed to find 33 CS. It's not that bad, but that doesn't really equate to net worth. He's sitting at 1.8k net worth to the 3k of Mind Control, who's number 1, and the rest of Liquid are right behind him. They have the 1, 2, and 3 position. Yeah,
it's really scary when you allow all 3 of Liquid's cores to get farmed, because normally it's somebody getting the tank job. It's like, oftentimes Matama Man will just get ganked repeatedly or draw the attention of the supports, but they haven't really needed to do that as Ace. Once again, he's going to get gone on.
Yeah, he was actually faking his initiation onto Miracle. Bakuro in through the side, able to actually catch Ace just on the edge. Ace faking out the poof so he can actually get the last poof where it damages. 18 HP, he'll survive. But that was close.
Exhale, Toby. I heard you go.
I don't think that was me. I think that was someone down the corridor, but yeah.
That was scary. I thought the 2 follow-up hits would do it, but they're just little scratches.
Yeah.
Nobody hitting too hard on the side of Liquid, aside from Miracle.
It's a good escape for Race, at least. Like that's one of those things he desperately needs to keep avoiding. Because Liquid, as you said, like they're a fast-paced team. They like to keep the momentum, grab the momentum, keep the momentum. So they need kills. They need to keep the pressure on. There's not easy delayers from Team Secret. Kind of like the downside about the Undying.
Radiant structures are
Especially when Yapsol still is not level 3 yet.
Yeah, in this mid lane, and there's 3 heroes mid on the side of Secret. I almost said 4, but that's just Amiibo. And they're not able to do anything about this. Miracle has already taken this tower to about half HP, even below that. He does a lot more damage to the tower than I anticipated, and no real response from Secret. We've talked about how important this mid tower is to the rest of the game, and the fact that they're able to do this at 8 minutes without a catapult does not bode well so far for Secret.
Fortification slowing things down. The Shah's just trying to keep Kuro out of the fight. Miracle looking for the last hit. Puppy gets the deny. So at least they remove some of the extra gold, but Miracle could just go for the kills instead. With the help of GH, who's tethered himself forward. They want to kill off Yapsor. Snowball available, and he's heading towards Miracle by the looks of it. Yep, straight back up the mid, and Yapsor, well, you can shard to try and slow down the wave, but that's going to be all. There is no assistance coming from Team Secret. Puppy and Yapsor are just taking it for the team.
And this is so problematic right now for Team Secret because we talked about how the early game is determined by your 4 positions. If you're a 4-position player, you need somewhere on the map to do something. You need to be able to kill somebody, pressure somebody. Where exactly is Yapsor supposed to go in this kind of draft? He can't really help his Meepo because it's an Enchantress. You're not going to go and gank a Razor. That's a dead lane hero. And a Phantom Lancer has an escape ability over your shards. So now you're in a position where all 3 of your cores can't do anything. Your 4 position doesn't really have a game. And look at that as one of the... There is no brakes on that train. Normally there's like a little bit of a bump. That is almost straight down.
They're thinking about a fight over onto Miracle. He's been hit by Decay a couple of times, and this is why mid-1 wants to jump forward. Has no points up in Electric Vortex, so no controllability onto Miracle, and here comes GH flying over the trees. Another Decay. Miracle, the shards are blocking mid, but it won't really matter. He's still got 17 one-shots up his sleeve, so they go for GH mid-1 and Yapsor teaming up on him. Fada, the Rift, it will not get him out to safety. And now they even glimpse Yapsor up and into the wall. He starts his TP, and Miracle just wants blood. He'll claim Yapsor. 7-1 on the board, and this game has escalated quickly.
Yeah, that's 6k gold at just 9 minutes into the game. They finally get themselves on the board. No shutout here, but Liquid are on a very steady roll so far. All 3 of their cores in very good shape right now. As Mind Control... This is the problem when you play against offlane Enchantress, is sometimes she gets these games where nobody wants to be in her lane, Toby.
Bottom lane, Fada, he's got no Pit of Malice. They don't have a control.
Yeah, they have the one stun from the Tusk, and that's about it.
I kind of got semi excited because I'm like, you know what? Fada's just going to like lock him in position. The Rift comes in, Yapsok holds him in with shards, right? But this, yeah, not happening.
I'm still pretty certain that wouldn't be enough to kill, and that's why things feel pretty rough right now for Secret is they can't kill anybody. Dota is based on the fact like, okay, if we bring 3 heroes down here, we should be able to get a kill, but do they really kill this Enchantress? She's got a 10-minute Force Staff.
Yeah.
They don't have Magic Burst on their side.
And she keeps carrying this catapult with her, with the Blightstone, now the double catapult wave. Like, they need to react, though, or else Mind Controls is going to continue to take more and more buildings.
Yeah. Then they go hit Roshan. They take all your tier 2s and your tier 1s. Like, you got to make a play somewhere. Smoke, try to gank one of the cores. I think Razor at this point might have been one of the easiest, but if you look, Mantama Man has already anticipated that.
Yeah. Miracle's also moved down to this bottom lane just to ensure Tier 2 tower drops 11 minutes into the game. And Storm has to ball lightning away. Mid 1, not a lot of mana to work with here. I know where... No, they're not going to go up. They just claim more buildings. Yeah. They actually smoke. This was under vision of the Radiant Obs and Sentry Ward, so Team Secret are fully aware. Yeah, but Mind Control's in mid lane. This is going to be a quick tier 2.
You got to defend something. If you're on the side of Secret, you're watching Liquid right now just march down your base, take whatever they want.
But if you fight, you kind of out of the game, right? Like Ace is still trying to play catch-up game. Like he's just hit level 10. He's actually building Shadow Blade onto this Meepo.
He's trying to get Silver Edge so he can blow up the supports, and especially the Enchantress. She's kind of at the top of the problem list.
GH is on it. He understands that something is wrong. Ace actually TPing back with one of his meepos, the one that just used the poof, and will escape as he understands that Liquid are on the hunt for him now.
Yes, very nice move by him. Getting aggressive into their own jungle. It seems so counterintuitive in Dota to go to the enemy side of the jungle when you're behind like this, but you have to take risks because you assume that when the enemy is that far ahead, they've warded everywhere on the outskirts. And so it's very dangerous to enter your own jungle by yourself.
Well, he is right. That observer ward's on the hillside to the north of the Radiant jungle. There's one on the bottom ramp, and there's one just east of the mid-tier 2 tower.
Yeah.
So Team Liquid have perfect coverage of anyone leaving the Team Secret base.
This is when you know you're ahead. You're showing 2 cores at once. Oftentimes in a game, Toby, when you're this far behind, what'll end up happening is you'll just go smoke and gank one or the other because you know for a fact that the 2 cores are separated. But they can show this Razor up at top and mind control in mid with total impunity because, well, they just don't think they can die.
Mid one actually coming, like, at least their observer ward. Okay, they're going to start creep skipping. So mid one's moved between the tier 1 and the tier 2 tower and mid. Ace is farming up the Dire jungle on the southern side.
Kuro, he's got his ult too.
Oh, yeah, he does. He
TP.
can actually kill them all right now. But then again, there's your Earthbind holding him on the edge. Storm Spirit jumps over. So a nice kill for Ace, but the relocate will kill him. But at this point, there's actually a semi-even trade.
That is...
It'll go the way of Liquid by a little bit, just because it's Ace.
That's still kind of okay-ish.
Fada. Okay, he's okay. TP just in time.
That was closer than I thought it'd be.
Damage that Razor can steal so quickly. 112. Throwing out the Tuskar shards. Yapsol snowballed into Miracle, so there was no escaping this.
Is this just going to be the day of stomps?
I think so. Day of the 20 minutes, right?
I mean, I guess we're just done at 5.
Gone in 20 minutes.
I'm trying to figure out a way. I think that Secret, if I'm being realistic, it's difficult. Like, at this point, your chances of coming back are probably less than 15%, but if you are going to do it, it probably hinges on Ace finding pickoffs as soon as he gets... I mean, I think he's still going for the Shadow Blade, so...
Yeah, he just finished it.
If you get the Shadow Blade and you can get maybe 2 or so like big pickoffs.
Now here he goes, he's going to attempt it onto Miracle. That would be a huge kill if they can claim it. Fada's in the neighborhood. And a couple lands to the face. Now here comes the help, but Doppelganger is so quick. They tried to predict the Pit of Malice, but it will not work. GH is there to hold Miracle's hand. Mid one burning so much mana, and Ace having to poof away to safety. All the mana burnt from
barely gets
mid
over.
one. And yeah, poor Meepo. Getting picked off on the way out. Fada,
okay.
He's getting glimpsed and then just jumps back to base. Timing off by a fraction of a second for Kuro.
Kuro with the whoops.
The Team Liquid would be very happy to go high ground now. 25 seconds. Either that or they just Roshan. There's a double damage room waiting for them outside the pit just to make life a little easier.
Liquid has learned that Secret refuses to fight them under any circumstance. And with that being the case, you're just going to avoid all fights at this point. They tried going for the pickoff like I suggested with the Shadow Blade, but they're so far behind right now, and the target that they opted to go for is probably the hardest one to kill.
Team Secret, they're coming over. GH, here comes the shards. Just keeping Liquid inside the pit. Poppy can get a pretty big decay out, and he's still got the Tombstone running around, so they're going to try and attack from all sides. Fada coming into Team Liquid. Now they're coming out. They actually missed the pit, and now Fada, as well as Yapsor, they protect themselves inside the snowball, but they're surrounded by
a lot of
Liquid.
damage.
Maybe, yeah, there is so much damage coming out. Ace jumped into the middle of this fight. Team Liquid, they've lost 2, they've claimed 3 back in return.
Miracle's low.
Miracle jumping up. Ace is going to pop right now, and it's all up to Poppy, the last man standing. Maybe with a buyback. Mid one, he wants to go for what? A steal now on Roshan? GH is already the medic on the front lines and a regeneration rune just to make a better measure.
Yeah, and Fada and Yaps are both ping it out. That will kind of shut this out. All he can do is try to time things out as mind control.
He's battling mid one. Mid one can't attack that. That's 4 points up and untouchable. He can drag it back and do some magical damage, but that's not going to help him. Aegis Immortal into the hands of Miracle. A BKB at 16 minutes for the Razor too.
Yeah, this is what it looks like when your forward position can't do anything and all 3 cores on the side of Liquid are enabled. For a second there, though, it looked pretty promising for Secret. The Firestorm in that small, clumped-up area did so much work.
Just imagine what would happen if they actually connected with a Pit of Malice, but it was only half a second. Like, if Secret was there half a second earlier with their abilities, then they could have potentially locked in Liquid inside the pit.
Yeah, Yapzor had such a good Ice Shards. He just locked 3 heroes in there for quite some time, but nobody could really respond. I guess Liquid always had the way out with the 4-step and the doppel,
Yeah. But they have enough items they can escape with. Mind Control's got the entire Hurricane Pike now.
This has been
Quick day's a good day, right?
you expect this game at least. It is only game 1.
Oh, goodbye,
It's
Koro.
Ace. Okay, he needed kills like that.
Yep, the
how
Storm
you come
made
back.
life a little bit more difficult to get out. There's a lot of damage from Mind Control. Ace is going to be okay, though.
Do you remember in Dota 1 where there was no cap to the distance?
Yeah.
And you would do the Chen Enchantress sandbag trick at level 1 to get first blood on mid? Man, I love mechanics like that. I mean, that one was insanely broken, so
Yeah. That's like you saying fountain hooking was a legit thing.
yeah. Oh, mid one. Yo.
Thought he was going to bowl that one, but
Yeah,
he
I thought he was going to dodge that too.
just taking it.
Good sir. That is a lot.
Just trying to help out Mind Control for his damage stats. But he has a haste rune, so he's going to start creep skipping out the top. Almost got the Yule Scepter available too. But at the same time, new items start flooding in. So you already had the early Diffusal Blade from Miracle. Nice thing for him when the fighting is happening so early. But now he's finished up a full Manta.
Thank you for not going Battle Fury. Oh.
You mean you haven't been enjoying these late game farming
Mid one?
PLs? Mid one? Okay. But Tubberman had the damage for it.
He had 500 mana.
He did have 500 mana. He could have Ball Lightning TP'd. But can you blame him? Like, Team Secret right now, like, they've got to be in the fetal position. Just like, oh, just someone save us.
Yeah, he's getting rattled right there.
Yeah.
I very rarely, if ever, see mid one make plays like that.
Vada. They're protecting him as much as they possibly can. He's completely out of mana. Poppy wants to help out with the decays, but there's more miracles where they came from. They just keep battling Poppy. He's got 13 one-charges. Into the base they go. Miracle and GH together. Yabzo wants to help out. The glimpse onto Underlord. His TP will be successful, but Poppy has still died underneath his own tier 3 tower.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
It's like Team Liquid are just having a field day with this matchup. And Matubberman's entered the top lane.
Yeah, they...
Ace has to come back, but his TP's on cooldown.
Radiant's middle
His TP's on cooldown for 35 more seconds. I'm looking for one of the aces back at base, but they just don't exist, so he's walking one back now as the jump, the back lines. Whoa, mid one.
He is completely out of mana. I think they chase this.
Yeah,
is...
they do. He's got one Ball Lightning jump now. Nope, he's using it to kill off the creep wave. It's like is he just saying kill me? He still bought his Yule Scepter, so there's no buyback available on mid one. Maybe he's helping you, Blitz. Nerf coming to Storm Spirit very, very soon.
I feel as though mid one right now is... It feels as though he's checking out of this game. And I don't say that lightly, but... Because like I said, he's one of the Storm... For a while, I think he was one of the few people to make it work, but in this game, there's not a whole lot that he can do.
Yeah.
This game has got to be very aggravating because they just simply can't kill anybody. You've got to feel pretty helpless at this point.
Yeah. That initiation too, when Ace was basically nowhere to be found, making life so hard. The tier 3 tower will drop. I think Ace is hoping for a kill. Kuro, if he put an Observer Ward up right now, he would have seen Ace TPing and potentially could have stopped it. But it may not matter. Miracle, 20 minutes in, takes the range tracks. Melee coming after it. Mid one, long jump in. Remember, you've still got that Aegis the Immortal. Miracle, doppelgangers, they can't even kill him. GH is holding the hand as they retreat back out again. And relocate. They're going after the Meepo. Ace, maybe try and fight this one. No, 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 no. He brings the rest of him in just to do some damage, but 55 seconds now without Ace, adding the pressure on bottom. They're trying to group up around the relocate target, so this is huge for Team Secret to lock him in, but they need to kill Meepo as well. GH isn't enough, but Miracle so strong, they burn the Aegis Immortal. The rest of Liquid trying to come in to help, Enchantress still in the neighborhood, and now Miracle can start fighting again. The Crimson Guard, they're trying to protect themselves. Puppy can't get the TP off. Vada sticks around a little bit longer. He knows he'll be okay with the Dark Rift. Oh, Koro again. Only half.
That thing is getting
only half the second between the glimpse and the Dark Rift.
That is the second time Kuro has messed that up, but I don't think he cares too much.
Right now, no. Here comes mid one once and again. Pit of Malice is nice.
be a
Forced
massive
up.
kill.
He yells in very deep, and Miracle will go down. 1,000 gold going the way of Yapsor of all people. A man highly deserving. Mind control, Fada taking
He
5
does not have
years
a
to
TP.
actually hit him. So, okay, well, use the fire instead. He's got a bloody Hood of Defiance on the Enchantress too.
You gotta go for
so
this.
here comes mid one. They shard block him in. The Glimpse will take mid one a long way back, all the way back to Fountain because he TP'd a ball lightning this. And here we go
still
again.
going.
he burns 90% of his mana to reach the front lines. Kuro at least can be sharded up. Here comes your snowball as they want to initiate in harder, but Kuro four-staffed in, which means Yapsor goes in way too deep. The pick can hit 4 heroes, but now Mind Control starts his work over on Fada. That one will cancel out his TP, but mid one in once again, focusing on the GH. They want him dead. They've almost got him as
There's a
well.
lot of
He didn't
damage.
go down far enough. Mid one more attack. No, it's still not enough. Now we will finally bring him down. Liquid losing 3, and the
Ace is
Root
getting a
Ace,
lot here.
He's gonna bring in the extra friends, but they're coming so late. He was under the tier 1 tower, and with his Meepo at 10%, it wasn't enough. Puppy, he'll get glimpsed, so no TP out from him. The wall will even catch him. The electrified fence of death as Team Liquid has definitely become a little bit more of a bump, but it's also become a crazy pub game.
It's weird because Liquid are so stubborn right now. They're just like, we refuse to not fight you. We have to take this non-stop. This is
Is
an
this a
active
message
ultimate.
that has to be sent?
Exactly. You gotta learn somehow, Toby.
Well, Miracle's taking the mid racks. You can learn how the effect of that's going to cripple Team Secret in the mid lane.
But you can see the impact that every single kill has on the net worth charts. Very well done as Ace. He just walked in there. If he could have gotten the kill on the Razor, that would have been a massive turnaround. I thought for a second that he had it.
What did okay, so Yapsor actually bought a Spirit Vessel. This one requires them to get kills, however. But 2 will make life very, very difficult for the IO to give that extra life during the team fights.
Yeah.
So if they can start changing some kills, the Spirit Vessel becomes useful. And Fada, they have the protection. Crimson Guard's doing a pretty damn good job at this point.
Yeah. Secret, or Liquid, by the way, that was a little bit sloppy because the Meepo just walked in Shadowbladed and they didn't instantly have vision for him, so he got a very good initiation to begin the fights.
And now he's going to get himself a triple stack of Ancients too. This is kind of nice as long as he doesn't lose his Meepo.
They've got to be a little bit better about this.
Ace actually, does he have enough damage for this?
Yeah, he's fine.
Okay, he's good.
Yeah, he's chill.
He's going to micro up the Meepos a little bit thanks to the 10% life till he gets at 15. But Team Liquid are grouping up on top now. So mid one's pushing at the bottom lane. He's only a couple of 100 gold away from having the Orchid completed.
Dire's bottom tower is under
There'll be no bounty rune, so he'll TP back home.
It's not easy, but their chances have gone from like 5% to like 8.
I was waiting for a bigger swing in the graph from you, Blitz. 3% is what you give him for this?
10 is a bit much, but I think it's not.
Can
it's not
I
undoable.
push you for 9%?
Yeah,
Right,
you can
we'll
get
haggle
it.
this up to 9%.
You can get a 9 from me.
Okay, 9%. Wonderful. As long as like they can find a couple of pickups, the Urn could do work. Now you've got the Orchid from mid one. So he's managed to get Orchid, Yules, as well as the Kaya. For a 25-minute Storm Spirit that was having a pretty damn bad time, he's managed to boost himself up to 510 gold per minute, and Team Secret are coming to fight. There's no Observe wards inside the base, there's only a Sentry ward. And it's 4 heroes smoked up. Fada keeping the pressure, the push out, but the same thing's for Liquid. They're smoking up, they're moving through the Radiant jungle, but wait, are they... Roshan's alive. They're going in for Roshan?
Oh, this would be a dastardly play, but Fada can get gone on.
Yeah, Fada's being initiated, but here comes Storm Spirit, the long jump right over the back lines, trying to go on the Disruptor. He was the one that was silenced up, but Team Secret, they've lost 2. The power is just way too strong when Matomamon pops that BKB. A double kill for him. The immunity is just too good.
They want Ace right now. They don't have the vision quite yet. They
He's
keep
got
seeing
Silver
from
Edge in
half a
5
second.
seconds. The Glimpse gonna pull him back down again, trying to poof back out again. Able to work all the way home.
Nice timing, but now Liquid look like they just want to march all the way top.
Yeah, pushed in through the mid, take out top. You got the creep wave with you as well. Not much of a defense unless Storm, but man, he's burning so much mana to try and force out these lanes mid one. Fortifications available to buy some time. Mid one actually needs this so he can pick up some mana, jump straight in, straight back out again with the shards. The creep wave's at least licking its wounds, but they're going to catapult the back line, so no issue for Liquid here at all. They're going to take a second lane of Rax. Ace still not fully ready to fight. Now the Pit of Malice catching out 3. Shards are pretty good as well. Mid one jumping in. They want GH, and they do have that Orchid onto him, but they need the follow-up damage. Here comes Ace walking in. The Meepo proves they're focusing on Matoma, and the BKB will now come out from him. GH isolated in the back line, so he cannot be that heal, but when Ace is down, the damage is gone with him. Kuro's put down the perfect wall, the perfect storm, and mid one will fall. I think that's it. You've got to tap out now. 4 heroes without buyback, and GG indeed. Team Liquid, it took a little longer than the first series did today, but 27-28 minutes. Convincing fashion, apart from a small little hiccup at around the 20-minute mark.
Yeah, that was very thorough.
Look at the smile on Kuro. That was good game, boys. Good game.
I think that more than any outplays, that was just honestly just such a sick outdraft. Like all 3 lanes lost. I'm trying to I'm trying to be a little bit more harsh and saying like, okay, what misplays were there? And yeah, there were a few from mid one where he just zipped in, but honestly, like it wouldn't have impacted the game in any way. Like this just felt like a drafting. None of the 3 lanes could do anything. Nobody could rotate. You saw when they were forced into their jungle, Liquid played that perfectly. They just pushed forwards even deeper into the jungle, and nobody could go anywhere. You couldn't gank any of the 3 lanes because they were either mobile or just hard to kill to begin with. So YapzOr's in a position where normally, you know, he's going around getting kills and stuff like that, but in this game, it's like, where's he? What's he meant to do?
He had no influence, Puppey had no influence. I wonder if it also comes back to the first 3 bans that happened during that drafting phase, because they just didn't get there aggressive. That rotation wasn't there for Team Secret in Game 1, but Game 2 could be a fresh start for them as a full best of 3 elimination quarter-final in the playoffs. So it all will come down to it. Can Liquid clean sweep at 2-0 and make this the shortest day of ESL One's history? Or will Team Secret finally give us a Game 3? We'll find out.
We absolutely will find out when we come back. Of course, we're going to get some thoughts from our panel. I don't know what's got into these teams today. Maybe they're all on Vodafone or something, because they're just lashing their way through these games. 17 minutes, 20 minutes, and now 27 minutes in our first 3 games of the day. Let's find out what Nahaz, Cap, and Fog made of that one. Great performance, but it was a bit of an outdraft, wasn't it?
Yeah, I'll be the first one to say that we all got really excited. We were like, yes, Meepo! And the whole time during the draft, though, we're saying, there's a lot of melee heroes coming out there versus Disruptor, and also they first 2 picked Tuscan Undying. So it did limit them quite a lot. This Phantom Lancer pick in the first opener, they didn't really have any ways to deal with it. And when you actually, like, you know, we get to see a little bit of the beginning of it is Underlord has a poor lane, Storm has a poor lane, and Meepo gets a poor lane. So all 3, they get relegated to have to go to jungle. You have 3 of your cores jungling.
Yeah.
There's a problem.
Yeah. And that's something almost every Storm does now, right?
Yes.
Yeah. That's tough. I mean, you tried to warn us, Paul. You tried to say this is going to be a difficult series for you guys on panel, and you got to look back on it. Even between the time that I was so excited by the Meepo pick, and by the time it got down to me on the panel, I'm thinking, you know, this Enchantress pick is really going to give Meepo a lot of problems in lane, and you saw that happening. You don't think of Disruptor as that strong laning hero, but Thunderstrike is a ridiculously efficient nuke at level 1. Ace just was able to establish no presence in the bottom lane from the beginning of the game.
Yeah, other than this, Cap.
Nobody on the panel had a problem with Underlord. Am I just the Underlord hater here? I mean, look, when like my problem with this matchup is the fact that you've got like a do-nothing hero mid, you've got a do-nothing hero safe lane in the Meepo. Like he got pressured, like he died once in lane and then he died once in his jungle. But like that can happen. But then you don't have a hero, you don't have a single core to like make things happen for you.
What hero though? Like what does a Dragon Knight totally change the composition of the draft?
Earthshaker that they banned. No, I don't know. But listen, like I don't know. I just don't think that Underlord. I've had way too many problems with Underlords in these games. I actually don't think that it counters the Phantom Lancer. Like I don't think it actually stops him. Like maybe it's okay versus laning phase and stuff, but I don't know. I just think that you're limiting yourself a little bit too much.
Won quite a good game last night.
A decent one.
Uberlord.
Whatever, Paul.
Just saying.
I do feel like
can be effective.
Like what
good
we're
ulti.
saying, you know, I think they got to the last pick and they were like, I feel like we kind of need a Brooder Meepo to bring ourselves back in this game. We need something to just trick up the sleeve to throw this game off because they've got Razor, they've got PL, it's a really good game, and they've got GH on IO.
Man, we all said kind of like Phantom Lancer is going to go mid, and we're going to have a Razor 1v1 against the Underlord, and like with the Wisp pick up, that it then enables the Phantom Lancer against the Storm Spirit. 2 out of 3 lanes are already won.
How many
Tough.
how many times with IO in particular do you feel like it gets deep into these big tournaments and we haven't seen a lot of IO, it's not even being banned, and all of a sudden it gets pulled out and it's a trump card?
Well, it is Liquid, but also what ends up happening is we were talking about how they have very aggressive lanes, and what happens when you have IO and you're able to take advantage of all 3 lanes. We even had the little Lyrith thing pop up from Pimp
That was brilliant.
you see the runes activated, you see the runes picked up by an IO, and that's the specialty. If you're constantly able to just refill your bottle, stay on the enemy side of the map, you're going to keep that pressure going. I think he had like 16 runes collected by 12 minutes.
Yeah, he pairs up with the Disruptor. All of a
Very
sudden,
hard.
they have a kill combo against Meepo. Like, they just run at a hero. They go mid with a Phantom Lancer. He's full HP, full mana, just running at the Storm Spirit all the time. Helps out the Enchantress. I don't know. The laning phase was so rough, and we just ignored it all for happy Meepo.
We got excited for
I mean,
Meepo.
Yeah,
Come on.
we're allowed to get excited for Meepo occasionally. Cap, who was the MVP for you in that game? Anyone stand out in particular?
I mean, they all did pretty well in what
Did
they
their
were
jobs,
supposed to do
didn't
when
they?
it comes to
Yeah.
laning phase. Again, it just seemed like they all won their lanes, so based off of draft.
Yeah, tricky one to pull out. Okay, maybe you've got a better idea of an MVP from that game, or of the tournament as a whole, because our Mercedes-Benz MVP poll is up and running. You can go visit the URL on your screen right now and make sure you contribute to potentially one of these players winning a $50,000 Mercedes-Benz. Thank you very much to Mercedes once again, and we'll check out all the E400 Mercedes memes on Reddit that will no doubt spring up from time to time. Thank you very much for tuning in and staying with us. Stay with us still, though, because after the break we'll have game number 2's draft between these 2 titans of Dota 2. One is on the verge of making the semis, whilst the other is on the verge of going home. We'll see you soon.
Miracle. He's been hit by Decay a couple of times, and this is why mid-1 wants to jump forward. Has no points up in Electric Vortex, so no controllability onto Miracle, and here comes GH flying over the trees. Another Decay. Miracle, the shards will block him in, but it won't really matter. He's still got 17 one-shots up his sleeve, so they go for GH mid-1 and Yapsaw teaming up on him. Farter, the Rift, it will not get him out to safety. And now they even glimpse Yapsaw up and into the wall. He starts his TP, and Miracle just wants blood. He'll claim Yapsaw. 7-1.
I do. I want to get in there.
Wow, I'm not too good.
Are you dead?